Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. This will be a hard difficulty guide slash playthrough. I've streamed the game a lot. Maybe you guys have seen my streams. But yeah, the latest update with all the new guns, I streamed for 14 hours. Unfortunately, the VOD was cut off at 12 hours. And I found all the guns except for the M5 and the AR. And we were really looking for the AR to blow everyone away at the police station. And then I played again on custom difficulty just to run through the map as fast as I can. And I'll show you guys a short video. I'll make a short video where I show you guys all the weapons that I found. Again, I played it for 7 hours, but I ran through everything very, very quickly because I put the difficulty on extremely easy. And yeah, I got the keyline curveball to activate. So I'll show you guys the keyline location as well in that short little video. But yeah. I usually only stream this game like once every update. But, you know, I want to be part of the community and share some tips with you guys. You know, like who's got 15 hours, you know, or 12 hours to sit and watch stream. Most of you guys are quite limited with your time. So yeah, if you are interested in Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days, but you find it a bit difficult or frustrating, I must tell you, the game definitely grows on you. Like I said, I usually stream it and I don't stop until I finish it. I'm the first person on YouTube to showcase how I clear the entire police station when we could only use pistols. I'm the first person on YouTube that killed every single zombie in the game. That's including sleepers. So when I was done with the map, you couldn't see any living zombie. I killed all the walkers, all the sleepers. Like I cleared out the entire map. First person to save first person on YouTube to save every single survivor. Think I was the first person to finish it on hard difficulty because I usually play the game right after the update comes out. So yeah, I've got a bit of experience and hopefully you find the tips useful. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to my purpose is to keep the videos under an hour. Now, when I look at how long it takes to finish the game, it depends on what you're aiming at. Like if you're aiming just to end the network quest line, it will be quite fast. If you aim just to do the manor quest line where you fly away with a chopper, that will be quick as well. Okay, I've done every single ending. I've done the bad ending with the network. I've done the good ending with the network. I've done the bad ending with the helicopter. I've done the good ending with the helicopter. Like I said, I've saved every, like there's almost nothing that I haven't done. But, I thought instead of playing the game non-stop until I achieve whatever I want to achieve, I thought it would be nice because the game does grow on you. But not when you rushing to a certain goal. Like, I collected most of the weapons within the first 5 hours of my last stream. And then I searched for the AR for like 10 hours. So that wasn't very fun or exciting. But in any case, my name's Matthias. This is hard difficulty. And I'll be giving you guys a few tips. Explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing. And hopefully it can help you. So, if that sounds good, do me a favor and click the like button. And if you want to see future episodes of this, click the subscribe button and click that bell notification to be notified of future videos. And yeah, we're basically going to play until we die, guys. And I believe you will die on hard difficulty. The reason I'm not doing this on easy or normal is normal can get difficult, but you have to play extremely long for it to get difficult because you start at threat level 0, and then only time lets it get more difficult. But I'm going to start with just explaining to you the differences in difficulties. Okay, so if you go to custom, then you can literally see when you go to, okay, casual is easy. So casual is basically easy difficulty. Okay, so your starting scavenging difficulty is 0. And this modifies how difficult the scavenge runs will be at the beginning of your gameplay. And I believe it's the same with normal. With normal, you start at 0 scavenging difficulty. Okay, so they let you ease into it. They don't put you under a lot of pressure. Everything seems easy. And then, but again, even on normal, you can go up to level 4 scavenging difficulty, which is the max. Where on casual, you can only go to level 3. Okay, so they're sparing you on that. But there's a lot of things that change. Like with casual, the zombies' attack damage is only half what it's supposed to be. The zombies' health, threat just means zombie. The zombies' health is 30% less. Your hunger drains 50% slower, which is a major thing in Into the Dead. Your rest drains 50% slower. Your morale drains 50% slower. The minimum phases between barricade attacks is 2 and the maximum is 3. Okay, so it takes quite long for barricade attacks to happen. And then barricade attack chance per phase is only 20%. We've only got a 20% chance for it to happen when it is supposed to happen. Then damage to barricades over time is half. Damage to survivors from attacks is half. Threat sensitivity to sight, which is very, very important. How quickly does a zombie react or aggro to you when he sees you? That's 30% less than normal. How sensitive is a zombie with his hearing, How easily does he wake up? How easily does he detect you? How easily does he come for you? That's 30% less. Sensitivity to a survivor's threat level is less. Starting resources are high. Now, this is easy, but you can even go very high if you want to. But on easy, you start on high resources. Chance of potentially getting infections, which is bad because if your character gets infected, he's going to die. Or if you don't get rid of him, or you don't let him die on a mission, if you allow him to get infected in your base, he's going to damage all your survivors. And if you've got any survivors that are on low health just because they just survived one of the missions, then he'll die. So that's a big thing. And then option to restart phase upon death is on. If you're not happy with how our phase went and you lost a survivor, you can just do it again. Okay? So that's easy. Normal is a great experience, and if you are struggling with Into the Dead Our Darkest Days, I feel normal is the right difficulty to start with. Normal is definitely a difficulty that I like because it gives me raw numbers. What I mean by raw numbers is I like testing stuff. I like getting more information about the game, mastering a game, just increasing my knowledge. Now, the reason why I like normal is everything is vanilla. So if I want to know how many shots it takes to kill a zombie with a certain weapon, normal is the difficulty to choose because I'm getting 1-to-1 damage numbers. If I want to see what's the best weapon to kill the new armored zombie with, that's very tough, 1-to-1 damage numbers is great, okay? So this is vanilla. You start in a peaceful, you start playing the game peacefully, but the longer you play, the worse it gets. So it's definitely going to get more difficult the longer you play. So I don't want you to think normal is easy. Normal is easy when you just try and finish the game. Like if you're just rushing the network mission or you're just rushing to escape with a plane, yes, then normal is very easy. But if you want to loot every single location completely, and you want to see how long you can survive, normal will become difficult over time, okay? But like I say, everything's vanilla, and you get medium starting resources. You've got a medium chance of getting infection, so it's very well balanced. Don't let anyone tell you normal is too easy. In the beginning, it's too easy. But the longer you go, the worse it gets. So there's a lot of strategy involved when you play normal difficulty. Like, where do you go first? Like if you want to upgrade your stations fast, like you're in a rush, and you have to know what loot is to gather the loot effectively before the zombie threat increases. Okay, but this is very, very normal, and you can't start a phase over, so that's great. And then hard difficulty, you start at scavenging difficulty number 1, which is big because on normal difficulty, it takes quite a while to reach level 1. Okay, so you're going to struggle right from the start with the amount of zombies there are, what kind of zombies there are. They've even added specific zombies to specific locations because of the specific difficulty level you're on. So there's some locations in the game where you will only find specific zombies because you're playing that difficulty level. And then again, of course, 4 is the max. Now, the problem in hard is how difficult it is to survive, because zombies do 50% more damage. They have 50% more health. Your hunger drains 20% faster. Your rest drains 20% faster. Your morale drains 20% faster. Minimum phases between barricade attacks is between 0 and 1. That basically means every single phase, your barricades are going to get attacked. And the longer you stay at a shelter, the worse the barricade attacks become. Okay? So you are going to get attacked every single turn. And there's 100% chance of an attack. Okay, major difference. Damage to barricades over time, 50% more. Damage to survivors from attacks, 50% more. Threat sensitivity to sight. This is how difficult it is to manage the zombies, to not be detected by the zombies. Zombies react to you 20% faster on sight. So they aggro on you 20% faster. They hear you 20% louder. Okay, and they are aware of you 20% more than normal. Then this is what usually kills people. This is what usually stops people from playing hard difficulty. The fact that you start with almost nothing. Like almost literally nothing. Like what is lower than low? Nothing. That's the only thing that's lower than low. Okay? Nothing. And then you've got a high chance of a wound getting infected. So, and your character can get infected with the first hit, the very first time he gets hit. He can get infected the 10th time he gets hit. But you never know when a character can get infected. And when he gets infected and you don't save him, he's dead. You lose the character. And I know Joe is a very beloved character in this game, and nobody wants to lose Joe. Okay? And then, of course, you can't restart. Now, you can always make it more difficult. I maxed out. Like, I did a stream where I started on level 4. The zombies did 3 times damage. I just maxed it out to the most difficult. I maxed out all the difficulty settings to the worst it can possibly be. That doesn't mean you put all the sliders to this. Whatever's the most difficult, that's where you put the sliders to. I literally started with nothing, like no items, none. And like the chance to get an infection was very high, So, and the longest I could survive was 4 days. Yeah, I was aiming for 7 days, but the longest I could survive was 4 days. I mean, even my hunger my hunger drained 3 times faster, my rest drained 3 times faster, my morale drained 3 times faster. So it was hectic. And I mean, I started on level 4. So I've got no items on me, but the first place I go to has big zombies and armored zombies and fast zombies and runners and you name it. So it was a very fun stream, but I wanted to challenge myself and see what happens. So yeah, just to give you guys a rough idea, I would suggest if you're learning the game, play the game on normal. Okay, trust me, the longer you play, the more difficult it's going to get. And just take your time. Don't rush anything. And most of my streams have been 12 hours or longer. I don't suggest that. You do get a burnout feeling when you play extremely long. So do yourself a favor and play like between an hour and 2 hours a day. How much ever time you have. Dedicate that time, and then get excited for the next time, or when you've lost the survivor, think about it, like play, you lost the survivor, okay, I'm going to play tomorrow again. Analyze what you did wrong, try and figure out where you went wrong, try and figure out what you can do differently. Test things. There's a lot of things you can test on normal difficulty. Heck, you can even test it on casual. But I mean, for testing purposes, I don't suggest play on casual because you want accurate numbers. That's why normal is so good for that. Okay, and that's it for the difficulty. So we're just going to go back and then we're going to go hard. A brutal experience where a single mistake could cost you everything, and they are 100% right. I did finish the game on hard difficulty right after they brought out the difficulties, but I didn't save everyone. I couldn't. No, and I don't mean I tried to save every single survivor. I just mean my group. Like the people that I wanted to get to the end with, I couldn't save them all. I did finish the game, but I lost like half the survivors. So that wasn't a success, but I mean, I still escaped. So we're going to go hard. This difficulty will be set to hard. The difficulty can't be changed, okay? Here's the intro.
People of Walton, this is your mayor, John Ward. Now, I want to take a moment to thank y'all for your patience and resolve in these most challenging times. It's that Southern spirit, it's that Texas grit that gives me full confidence that we'll not only get through this crisis, but come out stronger on the other side. And I only wish I could be here to see it, huh? However, folks, I regret to announce that today I'll be moving my office to a secure spot outside the city limits. Now, no need to go assuming the worst. All right. This move is strictly to facilitate better coordination with our boys in uniform, who are at this very moment putting together a surefire plan to retake our city and eradicate the... Huh? Let's get wait. Now where? Just give me... So just, hold tight, secure your homes, and I assure you, the tide will turn. God bless you. God bless you.
I'm not sure if anyone out there is still listening to this trash, but if you are, know this. Nobody is coming to help you. There's no plan. Look, what they did, it's wrong. It's all wrong. We are trapped. And staying here isn't an option. You have to get out. Escape the city any way you can. Get out now.
Okay, guys. I do know that that was a bit soft, but the intro is a bit loud. And yeah, we're only in 0.6 at the moment. And like I tell you guys, if you loot every single location on normal difficulty, it will take you approximately 15 hours. So this isn't a short game, okay? If you play on hard difficulty, it will definitely take you longer because, you know, there's a lot more threats to deal with. So it limits the speed at which you can loot everything. Like I did a test run where I made everything as easy as possible to see if I can find the AR. I again didn't find the AR, but I basically speed ran the entire map, looting absolutely everything. And it took me about 9 hours. Okay. So even on the most easy difficulty setting, if you change those custom settings to the easiest possible, you know, like I basically punched every zombie to death, you know, because their health was so low. But I just speed run it to see if I could find the AR because I couldn't find it on stream. And that still took me 9 hours. So we're only in 0.6 now. So this game will definitely be a 20 to 40 hour game by the time it comes out. And trust me, it the concept might look simple to you, but it does grow on you. Okay, you can leave in the comments down below if you feel it grows on you or it doesn't grow on you. But I know there's a lot of people that play it every day. Now, I am going to play it every day now for an hour, but I don't think I'll be able to play it every day for like 4 or 5 hours, you know? I think you'll burn out at some stage. But I mean, you can always, like, if you do hard mode successfully, you can always change those settings a bit more to challenge yourself. You know, you've always got the next challenge. Like, I definitely feel if you put the difficulty settings to max, it's impossible to escape through the network or the helicopter. But, you know, you can push the limits. You can, like let's say hard difficulty, the puppets do 50% more damage, you know? You don't have to make it ×3, make it double damage. You know, like just shift everything a little bit to see where your limit is, you know? And that can keep the game fun for a while. Okay, so here are the survivors. And I'm going to start just giving you guys some advice. When you're looking at your initial survivors, it doesn't matter if they bring new pairs into the game. Okay, you start the game with 2 characters. But this is the most important section of your adventure. The decision that you make here has a major effect on your gameplay. So what you're looking for here is traits that you can't get in the game. So when I say traits that you can't get in the game, I think there's like 18 people you can save now. Like the first time I saved all the other characters on the map, it was like 15. But now there's an old lady and there's a guy at the clinic. Maybe it's 17 or 18, I don't know. There's a lot of people you can save and all of them have different traits. For instance, a lot of people like Penny and Daphne, okay? Because they can cook good food right from the start. And they've got first aid. So they can craft double the amount of medical items that a normal person can craft. So you're saving on a lot of resources because if you craft that medical equipment with someone else, you're going to use the same resources for one item. Where with Daphne, she makes double the items for the same cost. Okay? And, you know, like recipes generate more food at the cooking station. Also great. Now, a weakness is attack damage reduced. But if you stealth with her, like if you don't take on zombies head on, this doesn't really matter. You know, because you're still going to kill zombies with a single attack if you stealth kill them. But there are 2 or even maybe 3 survivors in the map that can do this for you. And there is a survivor on the map that can be a good cook. And that's what I want you to think about. Like Frank at the fire station, if you guys don't know who Frank is, I'll introduce you guys to Frank. Frank at the fire station is also a good cook, but he can't carry a lot. He's got reduced backpack space, if I remember correctly. But he does more damage with blunt weapons, which is good, you know, because if you don't take Leo, that does more damage with all weapons. Let's say you take these guys, Penny only does more damage with bladed weapons. So it's nice having Frank because you can send him out with blunt weapons and then he'll do more damage with blunt weapons. But traits that are very, very, very valuable is Blade Expert. Increased damage when using a bladed weapon. No, you don't find a survivor that does this. You can't find any survivor that does more damage with bladed weapons. And the bladed weapons, in my opinion, is the strongest weapons in the game. Like the machete is the best weapon overall, the crafted machete, because it makes very low noise, doesn't make a lot of noise. It's got really good durability and it does a heck of a lot of damage. Okay? So using that perfect weapon with Penny is really, really good. And then Penny's got another skill that nobody in the game has. Makes less noise when scavenging. Now, scavenging means everything, guys. She makes less noise when she kills a zombie. She makes less noise when she's walking, when she's jogging, when she's running. She just makes less noise. And the more difficult it is for zombies to detect you, the easier it is. Okay, so Penny on her own is really, really, really powerful. And the fact that, you know, undead attacks may also add trauma state is fine. There is a... there is a communal area where you can get rid of this. So Penny is extremely strong. And that's why it's most players' favorite group. Because technically, this is the best group. You've got... And remember, if you've got a trait here that you can get from another survivor, you need to save that survivor to get this trait. You've got another mouth to feed. You've got another person that needs to use your beds. You've got another person that needs to go to the communal area. You know, you've got more mouths to feed. You've got more responsibilities. You know, it just stacks up. So Daphne literally replaces two characters. A medical character that you can get in the game and Frank. Okay, she replaces Frank and she replaces Aubrey, okay, or the medic, you know, or the paramedic or whatever. And then Penny replaces anyone when it comes to damage because she does the most damage with bladed weapons. And she's the only character that can stink. So this is by far the best technical group to play with. You just have to focus. Like, if you only go out with Penny, that's fine. If you only go and scavenge with Penny, go for it. The problem with Penny is she can do things that other survivors can't do. So if you get used to playing with Penny, you're like, if I do this, I don't wake up a zombie. If, you know, I can do all these things without zombies detecting me. And then as soon as you rest Penny, because she's going to need to sleep at some point, or you need to put her in the communal center, you can skip a turn. Like, you don't have to send out anyone. You can let her rest, feed her, put her in the communal center until she's ready, and then only send her out. You know, skip a few turns to send her out. That's great. But you must be very careful that you don't get used to this massive power of hers, or get used to how quickly she can kill a zombie when you take another survivor out. Because if you get too used to her, you're going to suffer, or you're going to run into major problems when you go out with other survivors. Because when they do what Penny does, the zombies do wake up. You do get overwhelmed. You do die. Okay? Where with Penny, you don't. So, definitely the most powerful group in the game. But be very careful that you don't get used to easy mode, if we have to put it that way. But by far number one. I have thought about this many times. By far the strongest player in the game right now, for many reasons. Then my second, number two on the strongest groups is Daryl and Leo. Now, if you look at Daryl, the iron stomach doesn't mean anything. He can still get sick if you eat raw food. Okay, so this iron stomach doesn't really mean anything. Can you get anything without getting an upset stomach? Like, I've eaten raw stuff and he gets sick. Okay, but this is good. Melee weapons are cheaper to craft, which is very, very nice. Okay, because they synergize very well. So with Daryl, he can craft melee weapons for cheaper, so you use less resources, and resources are quite scarce. And then Leo does increased damage when using melee weapons. And this is all melee weapons. That's what makes him extremely strong. It's not he does more, like Frank only does more damage with blunt weapons. Penny only does more damage with sharp weapons, bladed weapons. He does more damage with all weapons. No one can do that except for him. And then if that isn't enough that he does more damage with every single weapon, he's tough as well. This survivor takes less damage in combat. So they have to hit him almost double the amount of times to kill him. Okay? So they're tough with, like, it's like a tank and a glass cannon, all in one. So he's definitely competing with Penny, but I mean, Penny's powers with sneaking, I don't know. It's very difficult to pick a winner there. But I mean, Daryl is not as strong as Daphne, because this doesn't really help you. This helps you, but you can find a character that does this. So you're not getting two positives. You're getting one positive from him. And then you're getting two negatives, because this doesn't really work and this is a negative. You're getting two positives here with one negative. Like he gets more hungry each phase. But again, if you have to put numbers on it, 0. Well, you can put a half a point here because... Okay, no, give it a full point. Even if you can find a character that can do this, it's an extra mouth to feed. Okay, so this ability is a point. So that's 1, 2, and if a character can do something that no one else can do, let's give it 2 points. Okay, so 1 point, because there are characters that can do this, but it's an extra mouth to feed. So 0, 1, 0. 2, 4, 0. So that's 5 points. We score 5 here. Because Leo has got 2 things that no one else can do. And then Daryl does something that helps you in the game. But you don't need to feed an extra character. So that's 1 plus 4 is 5. But when we go look at Daphne and Penny, this is 1. That's 2. That's not even 0. It's, like, it doesn't really matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why I say no one can do this and no one can do this. So that's why I say they are in the lead, but like they have 6 points of strength, where Daryl and Leo only have 5 points of strength. But that's not a lot less. Okay, so they just behind. Daryl and Leo is 1 point behind Penny and Daphne. Now when you look at the other survivors, will to live. Melee damage significantly increased while on low health. You never want to get to low health. This is a 0. This is not a positive. You never want to get to low health. You want to run away long before your character gets to low health. Okay, so this is 0. The survivor is resistant to morale loss from low needs. This is a 0 as well, because you've got a communal center. If you upgrade it to level 3, you can keep everyone extremely happy. You've got beer, you've got alcohol, you've got a lot of stuff to keep people happy. And then this is even worse. Alcohol items cannot be consumed. So the survivor is resistant to morale loss from low needs, but her morale will still go down naturally, and you can't help her with alcohol. So this is 0, 0, and 0. Then when you go to Wayne, he's a thrill seeker. Gains the adrenaline state from damage, which boosts morale. It's a 0. Like, I have to take him out on a mission so that he gets adrenaline, which only boosts his morale. Doesn't make him hit harder, doesn't make him faster, doesn't help you at all. It just boosts his morale. So you don't have to put him in the communal center that much. But the point is, you've got a communal center. So it doesn't really matter. So that's a 0. Can craft crude moonshine from the cooking area. Most of your characters that drink moonshine are going to get sick. They're going to throw up. Maybe he doesn't throw up, but most of your characters throw up when they drink moonshine. You've got beer and you've got clean alcohol in the game. It's a 0. Spending a phase without leaving the shelter results in morale loss. So he gains morale when you send him out, but he loses morale when you don't send him out. Plus, this woman is pregnant. Who wants to have the responsibility of keeping a pregnant woman safe? I don't send Tracy out on missions. She's bloody pregnant. Okay? You'll see it in game that she's pregnant. So this is 0, 0, 0, 0. This is basically a 0. The only point he gets is he looks cool. I want to play with him because he looks cool. But he's got no benefits here for me. Then, if we go to Hector and Kayla, gains an extra component resource for each dismantled item. Now, I don't care if Joe has the same trait. Joe can carry the maximum amount of gear on him. So you might say, Joe does this, so we don't need to save Joe. No, Joe does this, and we need to save him because he carries the max amount of gear. If you guys don't understand what I mean, I'll explain it to you while I'm playing. And then barricades are cheaper to repair. Now, this might not be so important in normal difficulty, but it's very important in hard difficulty because you're going to run out of wood. You'll never run out of food if you know how to manage your food because you can grow vegetables and you can produce water. So food is never going to be a problem if you're good with the game. But wood's going to be a problem because you can't produce wood. You can find wood through curveballs, but you can't really rely on curveballs to help you. Most of the time, they're going to be bad for you instead of good for you. So this is important. He's probably going to use half, like most of the benefits are. He's going to use half the wood, okay? So this is really good. So this is 1. This, we can give it 2. So 1 and 2, okay? Then loses more rest each phase. It's fine. You've got beds. It's fine. Small chance of not taking damage in combat. I can't give this a 1. If I give this 0.5, because it's a very, very small chance. So most of the time she's going to get hit. And if she gets hit, there's a chance that she gets infected, which leads to a death, which is bad. Okay, so I'll give this a half a point, but then I'll extract a half a point because she's got reduced backpack space, which is very negative. It means it will take more turns to collect the items that you need. More turns means more time goes by, which means the threat level becomes higher, which means the game gets a lot more difficult, which means everything gets more difficult. And you're going to start losing people. It's just a negative stacking situation. So half a point, you lose half a point. So that's 0. Creates more lockpicks when crafting at the workbench. I'll give her a point. I won't give her 2 points. Because there is Michelle. You can find Michelle in the game that can also craft 2 lockpicks instead of 1 lockpick for the same amount of resources. But I mean, it's still something she can do without saving someone else. But if we have to score this couple, it's 1, 2, Those two cancel each other out. 3. 3 out of a possible 6. Okay, 3 out of a possible 6. Then when we go to Sebastian and Diane, Sebastian can do something that no one can do, which is deals more damage with using firearms. Now you might think, whoa, this is only endgame. It's going to help you a lot in endgame. And it's definitely going to help you a lot when you do hard difficulty, because you're going to face a lot of tough zombies. And the biggest problem you have is running into armored zombies, because you can't run past them. They are like a brick wall. When you hit an armored zombie, you can hide from it and let it walk past you. But I mean, you can't, you know, it gets bad. The worse the threat level becomes. So ranged weapons are cheaper to craft. I don't know if Barb can do this as well. But in any case, 1 point, he deals more damage that no one can do. So it's 1 point plus 2 points, that's 3 points. Okay, 0. Losers rest slower than other survivors. That's 0. We've got beds. Passively gains a small amount of morale every phase. That's 0. Okay, and 0. So, yes, he's strong. Yes, you know, you can have a lot of fun with him. But if you look at them together, they still just were 3 points. 1 plus 2. 0, 0, 0, 0 doesn't really help you. Okay? So 3 points. So far, Penny and Daryl and Leo is 5 out of 6. I don't know if they're going to bring new characters to the game that might be stronger. It's going to be very difficult to beat Daphne and Penny. But Daphne and Penny is a 6 out of 6. Hector and Kayla, 3 out of 6. Sebastian and Diane, 3 out of 6. Daryl and Leo, 5 out of 6. Okay, and then Tracy and Wayne, 0 out of 6. And there's 5 groups. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we start with Penny again. So that should clearly tell you, you want to start with Penny and Daphne, or you want to start with Daryl and Leo. Now, if you want the best chance to survive, and you want the easiest experience, or the best chance to make it, play with Penny. But because I'm a man, I like playing with men. Okay? That's just me. A lot of people play with female characters because viewers like looking at women. I'm just immersive. And that's it. Okay? I like Leo. That's it. So, we're going with the second best team in the game. So let's read up on them a bit. Daryl, an irritable high school baseball coach, has been grappling with a difficult student named Leo. Despite his frustrations, Daryl is determined to stay by Leo's side and help him locate his family as the city descends into turmoil. Okay? We must try and remember these things so we don't forget about it, but they're quite simple. This guy can hit hard and his stuff, and Daryl can make weapons for him for cheaper. Now, the starting location has a big effect on your gameplay. And you want it... Okay. The Dead Surge. We got a curveball right off the get-go. They are more infected outside than we've ever seen before. They're pouring out into the streets, infesting what's left of the city. Undead threat level has risen. That's just because you started on hard difficulty. Okay? So... normally, you wait quite a while before the threat level has risen, but, you know, now it's fine. So, you want to start in the middle of the map, but you can start at other locations on the map. Let's see. It looks good to me. It looks very, very good to me. So, if we go to the map, yeah, we started at a really good spot. Okay? Yeah, we started at a very, very good spot. So this is basically a perfect start. If you start where you can do 38 Irving Drive immediately. And you can do, basically, if you can do 38 Irving Drive immediately, that's a great start, because when you go to Irving Drive, it shows you where the gas station is. And Joe is at the gas station. And Joe is very important for your survival and for you to carry as much as you can. Okay? Everyone loves Joe in Into the Dead. It's just a known fact. Everyone loves Joe. Okay? So this is a very good start, but you could start, you could start at other places. If you don't like your starting location, you want to start where I'm starting, restart the game, start a new game until you start here, okay? Or if you never disabled your tutorial, like I disabled the tutorial, so I can never start where the tutorial starts, which is the easiest place to start in the game. I can't choose where I start because I told the game to never give me that option again. But if you didn't disable the tutorial, then you can start at the easiest place every single time. But if you were like me and you disabled that option, just restart the game multiple times until you get a location that you like. So we definitely want to go to 38 Irving Drive, the best house on the worst street. Okay, it's very easy to do this place. You basically have to kill one zombie. You get resources. There's a locked container that gives you a weapon. And I don't know what you call it, telescope. Whatever. And the lookout point gives you the gas station. That gives you Joe, which is really, really good. Okay. Taxis a little bit too rough at the start. Fire station is too rough at the start. This place isn't too bad, but we're definitely going to change the route. So the route that I take, doesn't matter where I start, I always go south every single time. The reason I go south is because there's a meat processing plant at the most southern side of the map. So I want to go to the meat processing plant and get as much meat as I can. And doing the gas station and the old ballad, you guys will see through the series where I focus first. The routes that I'm taking gets me nice building resources to upgrade my stations. And then I get a lot of meat, and then I go up to the Texway Sports Center here that allows me to grow vegetables in a garden and produce water in a water catcher. So I'm sorting out my food really early in the game so that I don't care about food, and then I can relax. So, yeah, very, very good start, but let's put the sound back up. There we go. Let's put the music on 10. Just so that it's lightly in the background. I want us to be immersed. Okay? But like little soft little music in the background isn't too bad. Okay. So, if we look at Leonard was a promising baseball player, but the intense pressure from his parents to surpass his late brother's achievements, always in somebody's shadow, made him resent the sport. Feeling isolated and unheard, Leo unexpectedly found an ally in his brash baseball coach. So, Leo is a good guy, okay? If you want to know if a guy's a good guy or a bad guy, just read his individual story, okay? Then the survivor takes less damage using melee weapons, increased damage when using all melee weapons, and he just gets hungry. Then you can just click on the other survivor. You can press 1 and 2, or you can literally just click on whatever survivor you want to click on. Okay, we're clicking on Daryl, and then we press tab to see what the base has. You can see the base has very little. We've got no weapons, okay, which is usually a big problem, but because we started where we started, it's not a massive problem. We are going to have a weapon problem, but we're not stressing yet. Now, Daryl was a dedicated high school baseball coach. However, his brash personality often rubbed people the wrong way. often creating tensions with both parents and other teachers. His life was consumed with the consequence of his gambling addiction. That doesn't make him a bad guy, people. There's a lot of people with gambling addictions that aren't bad people, okay? They're just someone with a bad habit that can hurt other people. But it's not to say everyone with a gambling addiction hurts everyone around them. It's very likely that they're hurting other people around them. They're just not taking responsibility for it. I'm just saying that doesn't make him a bad person. But with the collapse of the city, those debts have mostly vanished, giving him a chance to escape both Walter City and his past failures. Okay? So he's a good guy. So, things that are important right from the start, okay, is barricades, especially on hard difficulty. Like on normal difficulty, you don't have to upgrade your barricades more than once, okay? But it's important to upgrade your barricade at least once. Then if you, at the beginning of the game, it's very important to focus on a cooking station and know what you need for the cooking station. Like you don't need to barricade this place. You're going to move out of this place before the barricades become a problem. So don't go and waste 2 wood now. You need the wood to make the cooking area, okay? So focus on what resource you need so you don't waste resources. No, I want a lockpick. A lockpick takes scrap metal. But a bed takes scrap metal as well, okay? And the weapons bench takes a lot of scrap metal. So how much do you need a lockpick? How much do you want a lockpick? Okay? So just balance those things. But the things that are important is a weapons bench. You want to get a weapon bench to level 2 as quickly as possible, which allows you to craft the machete, which is the best weapon in the game. You want to craft quite a few lockpicks, but as you need them, because you can find them as well. You need to upgrade your beds, but it's not a necessity. But it depends on how many survivors you have. But the more you upgrade the beds, the more your character's sleep recovers. The more you upgrade your communal area, the more your morale recovers on your characters, which is important, because it drains every turn. So you want to upgrade them at some point, so that you don't have to go to the communal center every 3 turns. If your communal center is level 3, you only have to go to the communal center when your guy's has lost half his morale, because the level 3 communal center will replace or replenish 50% of his morale. So quite important. This is very important. I don't care what anyone tells me. It's not important to level this up to level 3. Level 2 is more than enough. Level 2 allows you to make goulash, which anyone can eat, because some people are very particular with what they can and cannot eat. So goulash is perfect for every person's diet. And you can make coffee, which gives you a temporary boost on not being tired. Then the medical center, I'd say definitely level 2, but whenever you want to, because you do get a lot of medical items in the game. If you collect all the medical items in the game, you're not really going to need to use the medical area. But if you get hurt a lot, then the medical area is going to be important. But again, only level 2, okay? There's a reason to go to level 3. There's a reason to go to level 3. And you've only got 3 resources: hunger, tired, and morale. Now with sleep, which is tired, your rest, level 3 is very important, because level 1 is only going to recover, for instance, I don't have the exact numbers, but level 1 bed is only going to recover 10% of your rest. Level 2, 20%. Level 3, 30%, So it makes a difference. Then this is your hunger, but you don't need to go past level 2. This, you must go to level 3, but don't be in a rush. This, you want to get to the machete as soon as possible, but you don't have to be in an incredible rush. Now you want to get this to level 3, and you want to get this to level 3, but this is more important to get to level 3. Because once you get the workbench to level 3, you can upgrade a dismantling bench that you'll be able to craft and upgrade that to level 3 or to level 2, which gets you a lot more resources from the components that you can dismantle, which will help you a lot to craft the workbenches and to progress with your gameplay really, really fast, okay? So rather prioritize the workbench and the dismantling bench over the weapon bench. But both of them you want to take to level 3. Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes left. So let's do the first mission with Leo. Leo needs some rest, but I mean, Daryl needs some rest as well. We've got no food in the base. We've only got 2 lockpicks. So all I'm going to do is I don't have a communal center to recover his morale. I don't have alcohol to recover his morale. I don't have food. The only thing I can help him with is rest. So I'm going to let him rest in the bed. And then I'm going to take Leo. And again, we've got barricades. Don't worry about the barricades. We're going to take Leo now. And we're going to send him on his first mission, which will definitely be 38 Irving Drive. And I know for 38 Irving Drive, I need a lockpick. I don't have a weapon. So whether I need a weapon or I don't need a weapon, it doesn't matter. But I know I don't need a weapon because I'm going to get a weapon before I get to the zombie. And then after I'm done with the zombie, I'll be able to open up a locker that will give me a weapon. Very nice. Very nice start, especially on hard difficulty. Okay? So we're going to take the item. We're going to press R. Then we're going to close, and then it says we can start. Okay? Actions confirmed, or confirm all actions by holding R. And now we go on our first mission. Now, I don't care if you've seen people run through the game like they're playing Mario Brothers. This game is meant to be played tactically. It's meant for you to be fearful. It's meant for you to consider your decisions, like not standing still for too long, because you stand still for too long, all the zombies on your screen are going to detect you automatically, and all hell is going to break loose. So always crouch walk everywhere. You cannot peek a door when you're standing. You can only peek a door when you're crouched, okay? So we're going to loot this vehicle. Going to take the loot. Going to walk up to the door. If I'm standing, okay, so I'm just going to stand. I'm just going to stand quickly. If I stand, I'm making more noise, a lot more noise when I'm moving, and I can't peek the door. I have to be crouching to peek the door, which is very important to know what threat is in front of me. Now there's no threats. I'm going to open the door and I'm going to close the door. I'm going to walk slowly to see if there's any loot here. Going to peek the door. I see a sleeper. No walkers. A sleeper is a zombie in the background. A walker is something that poses a threat to me. There's no threats. I'm going to close the door. Doors are very important because if she wakes up for some reason or I make a mistake and I fight her, the doors block sound. So with doors closed, I'm more likely to just fight her instead of fighting her and waking up other zombies, being overwhelmed and then dying. Okay? So this is the last room in this house and we're going to find some loot here. Okay. We find some meat and some vegetables, which is nice. And then there's only one zombie at the end. Although things change on hard difficulty, but this place is usually the same. But there's a lot of things that change on hard difficulty. There will be zombies where you never thought there would be zombies. Now we're going to walk past the lookout. Call it a telescope. Call it whatever you want. And then we're going to get a pair of scissors. We're going to take everything and we're automatically going to equip the scissors because it can be used as a melee weapon. Then we're going to look through the binoculars and we're going to open up old ballad, value records and textway. This is where we find Joe. This is where we find a secret location, and there's nothing really special to this, to value records. Now we're going to sneak up on the first zombie, and when we get behind him, we're going to press E. A stealth kill damages your weapon way less. I mean, scissors and other weapons break immediately, but a stealth kill lets your weapon last a lot longer, because if I let the zombie detect me and I fight it from the front, I'm going to have to hit it a lot more, which damages my weapons a lot more, which makes having weapons all the time a problem. And that's why I say stealth and taking it slow is very, very important. And now we brought the lockpick for this door. It's very important to take notes, and you can use this series to take notes. I'll even take notes with you, okay? So 38 Irving Drive needs one lockpick, because it's nice to know whether you're going to need wire cut, bolt cutters, or lockpicks, instead of taking it when you don't need it. Okay, so we're going to open it with the lockpick, and then we're going to get the hatchet, which is the best melee weapon at a level 1 workbench, where the machete is the best weapon at a level 2 workbench, okay, or level 3. This is the best melee weapon at a level 2 workbench, because the workbench starts at level 1. So this is the best melee weapon at a level 2 workbench, and the machete is the best at a level 2 at a level 3 workbench. And we get gun parts, which is very, very nice. So there we go. And we're done. That's why I say, this place gives you a weapon, which is quite good at the start. And without a weapon, you can't stealth kill zombies. You're going to have to evade them or fight them face to face. And if they hit you, you can dodge in this game, but if they hit you, they can cause an infection, which is very, very bad. Okay, so that's our first mission. And now the Texway gas station, Texway gas heart station opens up, and that's where we're going to meet Joe, and that's where we're going to move to. But that I'll leave for the second episode. If you guys, and of course, we opened up the Old Ballad, we opened up Texway, we opened up Value Records. Okay, so those are the three. We had the taxi, we had Walton Taxi, we had the fire station, and we had 15 Independence Boulevard. So with just that location, that I feel is the most powerful location to start at, we get a good weapon with good durability, and we open up three very important points. Not that Value Records is that important, but I mean, it's an easy place to go to for some resources, because it doesn't have a lot of zombies there, and you can get resources very easily, and you can get a lot of wood and building resources at the Old Ballad, and you can get Joe and build the base building resources here, which is very, very important. But that will be in the next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know there was a lot of explaining. Click the like button if you like all the explaining. Click the dislike button if you don't like all the explaining. But things will definitely go faster the longer we play, because I won't repeat myself. I'll try not to repeat myself. So the further we go in the game, the less advice I have to give you, if you understand what I'm saying. So this will hopefully be the only video that's more than an hour. Like I say, my target is lower than an hour. But, you know, sometimes we're going to have to do a mission that's longer than an hour. So timing is never perfect. But click the like button if you enjoyed the video, guys. Leave any questions you have down in the comments below. Have a chat with me. Tell me if you're excited. Tell me if you like this. And tell me if I helped you with anything. You know, tell me what tips helped you, or what if my way of thinking and if my way of explaining things to you helped you in any way. Maybe you always chose weak starting pairs, you know? Tell me if I helped you. Show me that you appreciate it by clicking that like button. And like I say, if you want to see future episodes, click that subscribe button and that bell button to be notified. An hour a day is not too much for me because I want to become part of this community, or just help this community. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do one every day. Cheers. Keep surviving, keep improving, keep thinking, improve. Later.